Dus we zijn hier met Terry Gilliam vanavond voor de derde keer hier op het festival. En we heten hem welkom.
Well, to start things off, Mr. Gilliam, we just saw your short. I must say that's one of the weirdest spaghetti commercials I've ever seen in my life.
That's exactly what the Chicago Film Festival thought as well. They didn't let us put the film in the Short Film Festival because it said it was a commercial, which is bullshit. I had complete freedom to do what I wanted to do, and I did. It had nothing to do with the fact that it was pasta people giving me the money.
When I was looking through your whole career just to do a little bit of research again for this Q&A, because we got to be prepared for everything in life, I tried to find something like a red line, something like a hook in your career, but it doesn't seem to be really there, except for maybe one thing that it's personal opinion, is I find a kind of duality in everything you do. So it goes from being like Life of Brian, which was obviously a very controversial film at that time, but then again, the song, Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, was in the top 40 for, I don't know, ages, and you find those elements back in your whole career. Do you have any idea how you can place that?
I just think that there's, duality, showing strange combinations is what life is about, and I usually find that television and films tend to simplify. I mean, with a group of 6 people, there's obviously 6 different ways of observing the world. In my own case, on my own films, it's just, I don't know, I don't want to limit what reality is. It's perceived by most people in television and films as a very limited thing, and I think there are more possibilities. I'm not sure what they are, but I like exploring. I like falling off the edge of the cliff occasionally, and I find, grotesquerie, I find beauty, I find extremes. I'm bored with the middle ground, let's say that, so I'm happier going big, small, rich, poor, those things, and seeing what happens when those contrasts are put together.
Yeah, but as a director, you directed The Holy Grail, you directed The Life of Brian. So how was it working with those people? Were there storyboards and they were supposed to follow them rigidly, or how did that happen? Because there wasn't a lot of money, a lot of stunts you did yourselves, and.
No, I mean, at the beginning, well, I didn't direct Life of Brian because I had directed Holy Grail and said never again would I direct with Python, because it's very difficult when you've got 6 people working together and then 2 of them suddenly start trying to be the boss, and it doesn't really work. But yes, I mean, in the early days, I always storyboarded things. I tried to plan it out, because with Python there was very, very little ad-libbing. It was all written, it was all worked out. And with Holy Grail, we only had 28 days to shoot it, and I think it was it $400,000, $400,000? It wasn't much money. It's very interesting because Holy Grail has just come out in a Blu-ray version, and we actually have an app for iPads, and the app is doing the 28 days of shooting Holy Grail. And I had to look through it to see if everything was correct, and I thought it was fantastic because I'd forgot how short our period of shooting was, and also brought back all these memories of things going wrong and how we survived it. And we survived it by being young, ambitious, and stupid, basically.
Works great.
During the time of Monty Python, you were responsible for the animated movies, the little short. Are you still doing animated movies or thinking about animated shorts or something like that?
No, I mean, Pixar is too good and Aardman are too good, and I don't think I can catch up with those people. I'm only good at pushing little pieces of paper around.
So yourself coming from comics, comics has been your thrive. What do you think about all these movie making about comics and the use of 3D and all those things in cinema. What do you think about it?
I mean, the irony is, I wanted to make the kind of movies that are being made now when I was, 30 years ago. It didn't happen. And now I find comic book movies, there's too many of them. They're boring. I get bored now, and there's nothing interesting about them. And because they cost so much money, they can't be as interesting as comic books are. You've got to play safe. You've got to stay in the middle ground. And so it doesn't interest me. There's enough people doing those kinds of movies. So I always go the opposite way of whatever is the current smart thing to do. I'm really stupid.
But the world you create sometimes in 3D must be...
I don't know. 3D again it costs more money, and if the thing costs more money, there's usually more restrictions on what you can do, and it takes longer to shoot. I don't really, and the worst thing about 3D is the way it's projected in the cinema is terrible, because they're saving money on the lamps inside the projectors, so they're not projecting with the amount of light that they really should be. So every movie is a Twilight movie, because it's always, there's no white in it, there's no sun. It makes me crazy. So, yeah, I don't know.
Hello, Terry. As a film student, I know making movies isn't always as easy or as fun even as you want it to be. I was wondering if you've had any points where you thought, I'm done with movies, making movies.
No, it's again, making movies is like the kind of duality we were talking about earlier. There are moments that are just wonderful, breathtaking, and joyous, and more moments that are just shit and hard work and miserable. I've gotten more comfortable doing it, because early on I was always disappointed because I couldn't achieve what I was after. Nature, the weather, all sorts of things intervene, or budgets, and you can't do it the way you wanted. But I've kind of discovered over the years that the limitations imposed on me, in most cases, have produced more interesting results, because you plan something very carefully and then it doesn't go right, or something doesn't happen the way you want it, and you go crazy. But for me, a lot of times it gets my adrenaline going, and then suddenly, there's another way of doing it, and that other way is probably more interesting than the way I had originally planned. I keep saying I was saved from being really mediocre by not having enough money. Given a chance, like in Holy Grail, we would have had real horses, but we ended up with coconuts. Much better.
I saw now that you are a Facebook user, that you like it. So is this the new media you're looking for, or is it a new platform, or?
It was an experiment, because when we made Holy Family, I wanted to see if we could distribute. It is able to be seen on the web. You can rent it, and so the Facebook was the distributors encouraging me to try this to see if we could get more people to watch it, and I got interested in Facebook because a lot of times I have an idea or something silly comes up, or I just feel frustrated, and I'll start coming up with an idea or picture or something, and I put it on, and you get a nice reaction from the people, and there's a lot of really smart, funny people out there, and that's what I like about it. I can't stand the way most Facebook is run, where here's a photograph of the drink I had yesterday. Here's my feet after I bathed my feet. This is crap. It's a waste of good space on the internet. But by putting ideas out, and then you suddenly get ideas coming back, that's exciting to me.
I went to see your Facebook page, but the thing is with Facebook, you never know if it's really you that it's doing it.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of people were doubting that I would waste my time doing this, but no, anything that's on there, it's all me that's doing it.
You like it.
Huh?
You like it.
Well, no, sometimes it's a waste of time, but other times it's an outlet. If I've got a stupid picture or something that I want to do, I put it on there to see what happens. And it's interesting to see how slow it is to develop enough people. So, I don't know, what's enough people? I got I went on Tom Waits' Facebook page and he had 1,400,000, and I got very depressed. I've got 75,000, but it's very cozy. Everybody knows each other.
It's a dream project. Unlimited means, unlimited funds. You can have whoever you want. Could be a book, original screenplay. What's in your cupboard? What's next to your bed? What's your dream?
I really don't know how to answer that because it has no basis in reality, that world you're describing. And whatever I do, I know, whatever I do is about relating to reality and my frustrations with it or my hope to expand it, to change it. So to have complete freedom with all the money I wanted, with all the time, with anybody, I don't know where I'd go. I mean, the closest I came was complete freedom for 20 minutes with the Holy Family. That's about it. But I didn't get Johnny Depp in it.
Maybe just one last little question. Your future plans? Is there something?
There's always something, and I've become very superstitious about ever discussing what I'm going to do, because every time I say I've got the money to do this, that, or the other, it evaporates. So I don't. The only thing that you can all do is in September go to Antwerp and watch my opera, The Damnation of Faust. And then if you don't see it at Antwerp, go to Ghent. It'll be there later.
Okay, Mr. Gilliam, you made us laugh, you made us cry, you made us do both at the same time. We thank you very much for coming back to this anniversary edition. We hope to see you again with another movie next year, in a couple of years. In the meantime, all the best, and give him a big round of applause, Mr. Terry Gilliam.
And now? Otherwise, you'll never see it.
Oui, merci, vous êtes bon.